Let's don't wait till tomorrow night live on NBCSN. Let's just do some work right here.
And Brunson's a big puncher, Todd. He's got very heavy hands. Caleb Plant, 10-0, 8 knockouts. This is a nice test for him on his way up the middleweight division.
Plant early on that's coming forward and stalking Brunson. He talked about the wide stance that we saw earlier tonight. Joaquim Alcine, and you see Caleb Plant kind of initiating that same thing, Ray. He brings that wide stance and then comes forward.
That begins as an amateur. I mean, a lot of these guys don't have much of an amateur background. It's very important.
He's making it. He makes it work for him a little better than Alcine was. Nice left hook off of that there, but you know, some fighters are very good with the wide stance, others aren't. And you know, Caleb Plant, he's able to make it work for him so far.
Double left hook, and you have to do that on balance.
Amateur fight. So Ray, is it similar to your golf swing? Where if it works for you, you just stay with it.
Golf swing is not good either.
Nice right hand by Caleb Plant a second ago, and definitely got the attention of Tyrone Brunson.
I like the way that Plant makes that, he makes a turn, makes that divot.
More golf analogies there. I love that. He did leave a nice divot or pivot a second ago, Ray. I like the hand speed and the angles that Caleb Plant is showing Tyrone Brunson in this first round. He's really got him confused.
Got the measuring stick out there, has him in the corner. Plant looking to land something. Brunson so far has been very effective with his footwork and moving the head.
Nice from one of the punches that Brunson landed already. Both guys.
That was a double right hand
Brunson
for
might
both
have
guys.
put a matching red mark on the left cheek this time of Caleb Plant.
Yeah, and although Plant has landed a lot of good punches in this first round, we could be going some rounds in this fight.
Well, this is a very fast pace. I mean, they keep this up.
8 rounds here in the PBC live on NBCSN. Caleb Plant and Tyrone Brunson do work here in NRG Arena. Round 1 is complete.
Seconds out.
Some of the good work by Caleb Plant and a return shot by Tyrone Brunson in the previous round. Both guys landed good right hands, and you know, Caleb Plant definitely took advantage, but Brunson had some nice shots too, Ray.
Brunson corner was telling him to be aggressive. More punches.
See him do that pull counter with the right hand. Whenever Brunson will shoot that jab, he's able to counter with that right hand.
Like you said, that wide stance, generate power, is like natural to him.
Yeah. But I like what the corner of Caleb Plant told him was, hey, listen, you're focusing a little too much on the head. Let's get that body work in there, and I just always like to hear that to a young fighter.
I want to see some combinations, and he's done much more of that early on here in the second round.
And whenever you see a fighter that's got that low left hand like Caleb Plant has right now, get him leery of those punches. Nice right hand by Brunson a second ago.
See that left hand, back of defense sometimes.
There you go.
Very clever.
Yeah.
Nice body shot.
Good counter left hand.
Good body shot and a nice follow-up jab by Brunson, Ray.
There you go.
Nice, good.
Fake him.
They need to mix their punches up. They can't do the same thing over and over again.
Caleb looking for so many opportunities right in front, trying to see what Brunson does, but kind of waiting to counter punch a little bit here more to keep control of the fight.
Beautiful.
Good body shots coming by way of Caleb Plant. Seems no worse for the wearer. And again, Plant keep coming back, and now it's good combination.
Way to finish the round.
So a nice exchange to wrap up round number 2. Both fighters scoring points in this one, and we will go to a third round as they get set to start the third round of 8.
Todd, Caleb was in the middle of the ring.
A lot more.
Here we go. Caleb Plant starting to feel it. Brunson not firing off any punches, bobbing and
Look how he's
weaving.
rolling with the punches. Brunson's he's doing a good job.
Both men doing a great job of just avoiding some big shots.
Caleb Plant got off a nice combination. Then you hear the corner of him. Okay, let's get back to relaxing and let's get back to boxing. So
Caleb Plant sensing an opportunity here in the third round with 1:45 to go that Brunson on the ropes may be subject to maybe taking some more punishment.
Caleb Plant getting off those combinations. He's not the heaviest puncher, but he gains a lot of value in each punch by going to the body and investing down there because he's able to lower the guard of Brunson. Guys who don't punch as hard, when they go to the body, to guard 50-50 head and body makes it very difficult.
Look at the double left hand.
Yeah. Is he wasting an opportunity to fire something back?
Good left hook. Or he rolls with the punches, but he has to throw punches back.
Because he's all about receiving. He's taking a lot from Caleb Plant right now.
Caleb Plant doing a great job here as we come up on 15 seconds to go here in round 3. This one's scheduled for 8 in the middleweight division.
Nice.
finish to round 3.
Some of the good work from Caleb Plant in the last round. You see him spearing that jab downstairs, following it up with a nice right hand up top. More good body work from Caleb Plant, following the advice that his corner gave him. And really, that was probably his best round because he was able to have a multiple target by landing at the body and the head. It really opens up the playing field, Ray, when you go to the body like that.
Wow, Brunson coming alive here early.
A little bit more life to Brunson all of a sudden.
Nice body shot by Brunson. He digs those left hooks in the body. He is heavy-handed, so.
In the corner of Tyrone Brunson, Albert Rivera tell him we lost that round, my friend. And here, BJ, you go to the corner immediately.
On the end of it, too, and that's what really got me, yes.
Wow, Brunson coming alive.
That definitely wasn't low.
On his sweet, what it says, what, sweet hands?
Take advantage of those misses.
It's a good, clean shot to me.
Borderline.
Beautiful angle.
Good shot
Left hand, good. Up
by
and
Plant. Body
Caleb
shot.
Plant, you notice on the right-hand side.
Felt like he was coming off the best fight of his life to Dennis Hogan by unanimous decision. And
He's changed some things up, Ray, and he explained to us very clearly why he felt he had the best camp.
And that's major, BJ, the confidence.
As you change your training camp up, you go to a place you aren't familiar with, a foreign country, and here you are fighting your life against Caleb Plant, who's really getting off here.
He doesn't have to be hurt, guys. He's being affected by the punches. Maybe Caleb Plant doesn't have the crazy power, but he's definitely in control of the fight.
Final 5 seconds here, the halfway point of this one, scheduled for 8 here in Houston.
We see some of the work in the last round. Caleb Plant landing a nice lead left hook on an aggressive Tyrone Brunson, caught him with his feet squared. Another nice right hand, left hook combination. Caleb Plant really able to get his combinations off that last round, right?
Tyrone Brunson, the seconds get out, but he stays on that stool until they ring the bell.
Don't stay against the ropes. And when you make your man miss, make him pay.
We just saw a second ago. We haven't seen that in the fight so far. And that could be something to neutralize Plant a little bit because Brunson is heavy-handed, and when that punch lands anywhere in that lower section, it's going to be effective.
Yeah, big body shot.
rock back.
Brunson's got to be careful when he shoots that single jab to the body. I was just saying, he doesn't get countered with that right hand. Exactly what happened right there. Get a little lazy with that punch. A sharp Caleb Plant brings that right hand and makes you pay.
Strong, see you letting him work.
Nice little step over to the right there. His head's in the right place. Good idea.
I don't know if you go to the category of a crafty fighter, but Ray, you got to look at Caleb Plant. He's got some stuff. I mean, he's shown me things in these latter rounds that he kind of held for the last 4 or 5.
Going to go that shoulder profile he has.
Yeah.
His lead shoulder is ahead, and it allows him to evade punches much easier instead of being squared up. It allows him to still be offensive yet defensive at the same time.
Big body shot, Brunson.
Plant is really concentrating too. His eyes are like,
Oh,
nice solid jab.
final 5 seconds here, and this has been a very entertaining round here. And a nice way to finish by Caleb Plant. Go right here in Houston, Texas, round 6 of 8 in the middleweight division. You've got Caleb Plant in the festive Halloween pumpkin trunks in honor of
Delivered some pretty good shots.
Right.
Some serious.
Caleb Plant shaking his head there on those last body shots. Does that, they shake their head. Do you think they're like, oh, I really didn't hurt him? Does it make you mad? Like, oh, that wasn't enough? Let me give you some more.
I've seen it where guys have been hurt and they shake their head to you know, kind of play possum, and I've seen it where, you know, opponents really aren't hurt at all. How's my poker face?
You're basically lying to yourself.
Put his punches together. Well, they take a little breather here. Good left hook.
On the jaw of Caleb Plant as Tyrone Brunson. The power definitely in the corner of Brunson, Ray, but Caleb Plant maybe been more effective, more strategic.
Guys,
Give him angles.
Plant's been in control. It's just that Brunson's definitely had some moments in the tempo of the fight. But, you know, Brunson will fire off some combinations and remind us that, hey, he's got, you know, 29.
Caleb Plant didn't impress me, quote, I just need to get low and smother him, end quote. Has he smothered him, BJ Flores, or has he let Caleb Plant dictate the pace?
Some nice body shots.
Final 5 seconds, and the last rounds have been the same. Nice flurries to end it. This is the penultimate round, 7 of 8, and once again, it is Caleb Plant that comes out firing off that straight left jab. Make the turn for home. We bring in Eric Raskin sitting ringside. Eric, how do you have this one so far?
So that 6th round was really interesting because Plant seemed to be starting to pull away in the fight, but then Brunson had a really good round, went to the body consistently from the start of the round to the end.
One thing about going to the body is it's a lot easier because the body doesn't move.
Sometimes early, too, in the fight, Ray, if you go to the body, you know, Tyrone Brunson, he's tried a couple times. Caleb Plant has hit him with that counter right hand.
I always go to the body early.
So, I agree, and for your style and your hand speed, Tyrone Brunson maybe doesn't possess the same skills, same things against Caleb Plant. He's trying, but he's been caught with those shots. Tyrone out of committing to the body like he should have.
That was a great uppercut and left hook.
So when he lands the punches, Caleb definitely feels it, but this is a great test for Caleb. Knockouts early, and now he's got his last fight with the distance. Now this fight looks like it's going the distance, so you learn a lot in these kind of fights, Ray.
Great job the way he's using the ring. I mean, those angles he gives.
A great camp, and he is showing it his cardio, his fitness, Ray.
It shows well. I mean, you're right about that too, Tosh. His legs are very alive.
He is a busy fighter. Caleb Plant continuing to come forward. 15 seconds to go here in round 7. Good exchange to end the 7th round, and now it is time for final adjustments, final words, final counsel, and then it will be on.
See some nice exchanges. Nice jab by Caleb Plant, not bringing his hand all the way back. Tyrone Brunson taking advantage with a nice overhand right over the top of the jab. Good work from him.
I'll be honest with you guys, I gotta like the composure of Caleb Plant. He sat in the corner and listened to what his corner had to say, answered clearly. Feeling really good the way he comes out, Ray.
See, look at the concentration.
I love the body profile of Caleb Plant. Not only does it make you a bigger target to get hit, but you can't get the same leverage on the punches when you're square. So Caleb Plant body position is very nice. And guys, on my scorecard, if Brunson's going to win this fight, he needs to know if he's going to do it.
Tyrone Brunson talking to folks ringside. We saw it in the last round. When
he responded to someone.
I think he was talking to you, Ray.
Well, he needs more of this. Don't know.
Anything good happens when your back's up against the ropes like this.
Actually, especially with a guy who gives you angles like Plant.
Almost effective. We've got this fight. Just bring it home. And
no, he is, but his corner wants to remind him, listen, it's the 8th round. You know, we want to get a little ahead of ourselves and sometimes forget about the defense. Tight and work behind the stick, which means stay behind the left jab.
Yep.
Beautiful shots by Plant.
Well, the final 40 seconds here, both fighters.
You know, his legs so alive.
With the stoppage, Brunson, big miss over the top. Final 10 seconds of this fight. Maybe his toughest opponent so far. Tyrone Brunson and Caleb Plant go the distance in Houston.
All for your winner by unanimous decision and remaining undefeated, Caleb Sweet Hands Plant.